What is up, everyone? Another night of playoff basketball in the books last night. We are back with some more NBA content. So last night we had some two solid games. They weren't like banger games by any means, ones that I'm gonna remember past like the next round. But yeah, we saw the Celtics take down the Cavs and be the first team to punch their ticket to the conference finals. And we saw the Dallas Mavericks take down the Thunder in OKC to go up 3-2. Very, very impressive by Dallas, by both teams, but especially Dallas. But yeah, let's hop right into this. Let's hop right into this games. I don't know what was going on there. That's my bad. I couldn't get my screen to share. And look at me. Look at me. I'm all over the place today. My God, bro. There we go. All right, let's get right into it. We're going to start with the Celtics Cavs game. I mean, this just came down to no Donovan Mitchell, so the Celtics just didn't stand, or the Cavs just didn't stand a chance. I mean, let's be honest here. I don't think anyone thought the Cavs were going to win this series in the first place, though. But like when you take out Jared Allen, who's been out like the whole series, Karis LeVert and Donovan Mitchell, they don't stand a chance. Like, and I think Cleveland fans know that. Like, they don't stand a chance against this stacked, loaded Boston team without those three guys. Like, those are some of your three most impactful players on your team, and you didn't have any of them. So yeah, let's talk about the guys who did play. Dean Wade, I'm starting to think this guy was a one-game wonder, man. He didn't do anything in this game. He hit 1 3 and he was 1 for 2 and minus 27. It's the worst plus minus in the whole damn game. Celtics and Cavs both. Then you have Mobley. God, he had a fantastic series. Give it up for Evan Mobley, man. This guy, I think people were doubting his potential. They were like, this guy isn't really all that. But like, I feel like just alone in the Celtics series, this dude proved that he is a damn good basketball player, and his ceiling is pretty damn high still. Like, he can be a stud. I think people were calling him, or at least if I remember correctly, people were calling him more like a Joel Embiid type player in the NBA draft. But like, I think he's more of that Bam Adebayo. Like, he gives off real Bam Adebayo vibes. I don't like fantastic defender. He can shoot his mid range. I mean, he's giving off Bam Adebayo kind of player. Okoro, I mean, he's just been a guy in this series, let's be honest, not really doing much of anything. He was +1, so shout out Isaac Okoro for the good plus minus. But yeah, the guy who really blew it for you this game, who's constantly blew it for you in the past in his two postseason appearances, is Darius Garland, man. This guy just didn't have it going like he hasn't had it going in like 2/3 of the playoff games. Like, this guy is not it. Like, people thought he was going to be the next big thing for Cleveland, but I mean, I would say he's more of a, if we're going to look at it from like a, let's talk about this from like a Tyrese Maxey to like a Norman Powell kind of player. He's definitely more of like a Norman Powell role player kind of guy than he is like a Tyrese Maxey guy who can like take over and lead a team. I just don't think Darius Garland's like, he's a good solid player. He might be an all-star one of these days. I don't think he's gotten an all-star appearance yet. If I'm wrong, my bad. But I don't think he's been an all-star yet. He might get like one or two all-stars in his career, but I don't know. He just doesn't have that game changer energy where he can take over the game and make everyone better. But yeah, let's move on. Max Strus, 3 for 10. You don't really like to see that. 3 for 7 is not bad from three though, but like, you just needed more out of Darius Garland and Max Strus and those guard players. You know someone you didn't need more out of though? Philly legend Marcus Morris Sr. He was in his bag today, dropping 25. We used to call him Uncle Marcus. He was just doing his thing, man. Like, guys were contesting right in his face, and he was just nothing but net because he's that dude. When he is on, he is so fun to watch, but when he is off, oh my God, they gouge my eyes out. But he was on, so shout out Marcus Morris performing in a winner go home game for Cleveland. But Darius Garland and those guys didn't perform, so didn't work out. George Niang, he's not bang bang George Niang. He's clang clang George Niang, man. I mean, he didn't give you anything in this game. Let's be honest here. He was positive on plus minus, but like, we know the dude can't play defense. He's not the minivan. He's the FedEx truck, dude. He's got nothing in the tank in terms of defense. Tristan Thompson, he's just kind of a guy. Sam Merrill, shout out to Sam Merrill. He hit some big shots. He was in his bag. But yeah, wasn't really much of anything positive for Cleveland last night. Um, Moving on to the Celtics. We've got they were in their bag last night. Like, I'm not gonna lie. The Celtics were so in their bag, they closed it out like they needed to. They locked in. Um, Tatum, he was solid. I mean, dropping 25. Good for Tatum. Draymond was trying to get him to say some cocky shit after the game, but he didn't bite. So shout out to Tatum. But the guy who really stepped up for Boston was Al Horford. I hate this guy. I fucking hate Al Horford, man. He's the worst. But he was in his bag, plus 26, highest plus minus in the whole game. Drilling threes like he's him, like he was playing the Sixers. But yeah, shout out Al Horford. He was in his bag. Drew Holiday also had a good game. I mean, we know about his capabilities defensively. Fantastic defender. And yeah, just doing his thing. Derek White found his groove last night. It's good for Derek White. I mean, he's been struggling in the series, like bricking some threes that he was drilling in the Miami series. They're gonna need a guy like Derek White if they're gonna beat a team like the Denver Nuggets or the Knicks or any of these teams left. Jaylen Brown, quiet game, but they didn't really need anything out of him. I'm gonna be honest. Didn't really need much of anything from Jaylen Brown because you had these four guys getting it done. Jaylen Brown wasn't a negative in this game by any means. You like to see less turnovers from him and Horford and Drew Holiday, honestly. But like, wasn't a negative in this game at all. Just wasn't. The game wasn't going his way. So they went another route. And since the Celtics are so stacked, they can afford to do that. You had Sam Hauser. I mean, they the bench was good for Boston. Bench is always good for Boston. They're just loaded. I mean, best bench in the NBA probably, I would say. And Peyton Pritchard continues to be a fantastic player in this playoffs. 11 points off the bench. I mean, Peyton Pritchard's just electric, man. Like, he locks in when he comes in these games. It's impressive. So yeah, Celtics killed the Cavs in this series. I mean, injuries were big for the Cavs, but honestly, if the Cavs were healthy, I think the Celtics would still 1-5 anyways, just because they're so stacked. They are loaded. So on to the Mavs Thunder game. Let's see. Okay, let's start with the Thunder. Shea is not the reason they lost this game. There's people around Shea. They just couldn't get stops. They couldn't get stops down the stretch and they couldn't score buckets. Like they could get one stop, but then they couldn't just go on a run with a bunch of buckets. So yeah, they just couldn't take over this game. I mean, outside of Shea, everyone was just pretty average in this game. Like you look at Chet 13, like these guys, Chet and J Dub, they were just guys. Like they were just NPC NBA players last night. Like Chet didn't really make big impact on the defensive side in terms of blocks or anything like that. So yeah, they were just kind of bots out there. Isaiah Joe did not keep up his fantastic 3-point shooting that he's been made so famous for last night. Lou Dort, I mean, he's been trying. He gives a lot of effort, but didn't really result in much because he wasn't shooting too well either. Shooting 2 for 8 with 3, that's not good. And he didn't really get anything off the bench aside from the dude I've been hating on the entire series, calling him OKC Ben Simmons, Josh Giddey. I mean, he was good off the bench. Give him credit. I mean, it's only -3, so like didn't really fall off a cliff when he came in, which is good, I guess. This is definitely probably Josh Giddey's best game of the series. So, I mean, give credit to Josh Giddey for that. Yeah, Thunder could not get it done. Didn't get anything crazy from Aaron Wiggins like we've seen in the past. But yeah, Thunder just didn't have it tonight. And that's been a common theme. I feel like the Thunder just haven't had it a lot of these games. Like sometimes they had it in game 1 and then they had it in the fourth quarter of game 4, but like they just look off, man. Like I don't know what to say. Yeah. Let's move on to the team that wasn't off tonight, the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic returned to his MVP caliber self last night in a big way, and he got the Mavs past him. Although he couldn't hit the logo 3 at the end of the game, which would have been insane. He hit some big shots in this game, and he was in his bag. 5 for 11 from 3 for Luka. That's not bad at all. You'd like to see more out of Kyrie Irving though. Like you continue to see this guy take a back seat to Luca, and I'm not like in a bad way taking a back seat to Luca. Luca's the best player on the Mavs, but like you continue to not see him put up like typical Kyrie numbers. And it's like it's concerning, but like we'll see what happens. Cause I feel like because we know how Kyrie Irving is in closeout games. He is the man. So he might continue to be the man in game six. We'll see. We'll see. Gafford, I mean, he didn't really need to do much of anything, but I mean, he had a solid Gafford game. You would have liked more. Actually, not Gafford wasn't that great in this game. I'm gonna be honest. -10, compared to all the other starters who were pluses. Yeah, you'd like to see more out of Gafford going forward. Derek Jones Jr. playoff career high though with 19 points in his bag, man. Derek Jones Jr. these last two games, he stepped up. There was the one game, I think it was game three. He shot like 1 for 9, but then he got like 17 the last game, and he got 19 in this game. So shout out to Derek Jones Jr. in his bag. And you got PJ Washington. I mean, the dude just continues to be a dog. He was being a dog down the stretch, like he is, bro. This guy, he's him. He is that guy. I didn't think he was as much of a dog as he is, but he continues to prove that he is the biggest dog in this series. It's not Lou Dort or any of these other guys on the Thunder. It's PJ Washington, man. He is the Josh Hart of the Dallas Mavericks. So yeah, off the bench, Tim Hardaway Jr., man, this guy's been he's been not dropping that many good games in the playoffs. He's kind of just a shot chucker. So I mean, he's streaky and inconsistent, and you'll get that with Tim Hardaway. The guy who's fantastic off the bench for the Mavs was Derek Lively, like plus 22 compared to Daniel Gafford's -10. So they really kicked it up when Derek Lively was in the game. So shout out Derek Lively. I was saying this guy is shooting his free throws like Ben Simmons, and he shoots 5 for 6. So credit to credit to Derek Lively. Josh Green was solid. I mean, he didn't really do anything wrong. I mean, and he was +2. Then I don't know ball. I don't know this guy. Harvey. He was fine. I mean, in the minutes he played, he was chill. -2, it's not bad. So yeah, Mavericks were in their bag last night. They were locked in. They were locked in. So yeah, going forward with my predictions, I think game six, I don't think Dallas is fumbling in game six. Because we know how Kyrie is in closeout games. This man's undefeated in closeout games. And I think that continues because OKC just continues to not have it in this. They just don't have it. Like they don't have the energy that Dallas has, and like they can't hit shots like they could against like New Orleans and those teams. I mean, that makes sense because this is OKC's first playoff run of the Shea era. Like they haven't had the playoff experience that guys like Kyrie and Luca, even though Luca's like relatively new. I mean, he's had his playoff runs. He's been in the conference finals. He knows what he's doing. Like these guys, Dallas is just a more experienced team. I think Dallas gets it done in Dallas in game six. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm just a yapper who don't know ball. Peace.